Behind the Mirror of Music with Dannii Cohen.
Hello, and welcome to Behind the Mirror of Music. My name is Dannii Cohen. This week's guest is Ben Cramer. This year, it has been 31 years since the first and only Dutch production of The Phantom of the Opera was mounted. Ben Cramer was the original Phantom, alternating with Henk Poort in this legendary staging of Andrew Lloyd Webbers' world-famous work. The production received a lot of praise around the world during its run, and Phantom fans still consider it one of the best non-English adaptations. Next to Phantom, Ben performed the part of Juan Perón in Evita in San Francisco, Belgium and the Netherlands, Maurice in Beauty and the Beast, Zoser in Aida and much more. During his concerts, Ben still performs scenes from Phantom, often with original Dutch Christine Joke de Kruijff, much to the joy of Dutch Phantom fans. I hope you'll enjoy the show.
All right, here I am. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thank you.
What are you doing right now in your life and career?
I perform in my country, like parties, private parties. Just a couple of, let's say, six, 7 times a month. I go in my car and I drive to another place and I do a show for 1 hour. And it's nice to do, and I'm still busy. So, that's what I'm doing at the moment.
Did you always love musical theater, or was your first love music itself?
Oh no, I started my career started in 1967. I had a hit song in the charts here in Holland, and I was 19 years old, and I had an own band, 4 people, and we were working together till 1971. Then I was so busy at that moment that I couldn't go on with the group. So I left the group, and as a soloist, I was doing my job, and that in 1973, the Netherlands asked me to participate the Eurovision contest in Luxembourg. So I went to Luxembourg in 73. And that was a heavy time. I had a lot of shows to do till 1984. And then I thought by myself, what can I do else? What can I do more in this area? So I made auditions for musicals, and it was very hard to do that because everybody knows me in Holland as a solo singer. And if you will switch to another side of the job, then that is very hard to convince the people that you can manage it, right? So
Yes.
I did my best. In 1985, I got my first role in a very, very small little musical for half a year. And a lot of other musicals followed, and then but in Holland they were a little bit afraid to ask me for because I was doing musicals in Belgium, and then when was it? In 1988, did some auditions in Holland to try a good role in musical, and my auditions were okay, but still the producent, he was a little bit afraid, always afraid. And so I thought to myself, this has no, I can't go on like this. So I went to America, and I auditioned in Los Angeles for the musical Evita, and nobody knows me in America, so that was I was lucky, because you know what I mean. But I tried to say, nobody knows me there, so they just listened to me, looked at me, how was my audition, and was it okay? Yes, okay, you get a role. So I went to America, and I did 3 months. I did Juan Perón in the musical Evita, and then I went back to Holland again, and then they called me after 2-3 weeks. Please, will you come back to San Francisco to play the same role? So I was happy, of course, and I went back, and and then I did it for 3 or 4 months, and then in Holland there were some Dutch people in San Francisco who make the film, right, while I was doing the role of Perón, and they sent it to Holland. Well, look at this, Ben Cramer is busy here and then they awake in Holland. They said, wow, Ben, okay. So I came back, and then got interviews on television. How is it possible that you can work in America? And because you always need, how do you call that? You always need
Agent?
a security number.
Oh, yes.
You know?
Yes.
And that is very hard to get, because but in America they said to me, okay, we give you a security number. So it was allowed for me to work over there. And in Holland they were surprised. And then came the auditions of the Phantom. And in Holland we have a very well-known producent, Joop van den Ende. I don't know if you know that name.
Yes.
Yes. He gave me the opportunity to audition for the role of Phantom. And the long story is that I get the role together with my colleague Henk Poort. And the musical was the time that the musical was in Holland was between 1993 and 1996. And I played the role for more than 425 times. And it was a big, huge success. And well, then I was arrived in Holland. You understand what I mean?
Yes.
And after that musical, I've got Beauty and the Beast. I played in Beauty and the Beast again in Evita again in Holland. And yeah, other musicals. Stuk of 5, 6 other musicals. And also Chess, the musical Chess was a very good one. And also a very, very original Dutch musical called Op Hoop van Zegen. That was a nice role of wait, I can show you. This is, one moment. Can you see this?
Yes. Yes.
I was there. I was there. In that beautiful role was that to do. and yeah, so it went on, it went on, it went on, and when I get married in 1995, and Mr. Joop van den Ende gave me this picture, and you can see the original mask. Can you see it?
Yes, I can see it.
All right, and this is me, and this was also a mask of Phantom, and this was the other musical I'm talking about. Well, you see, I was lucky that they gave me the opportunity to, and they allowed me to do this everything, and I was happy, of course. And well, now I am now 77 years old, and today, about 4 months, I became 78. That's my birthday, and then the musicals. Of course, it is very difficult to get to participate again in a musical, because your age, my age, is an age that is more difficult, because the parts in a musical are almost for younger people. You understand?
Yes.
So maybe, for example, if the musical, what was the name of the musical? My Fair Lady. Yes.
Yes.
There is a role in that musical that I could play that. That is Higgins, and well, I don't know if the musical will come to Holland, but if they ask me to do, if they ask me if I will do that, of course, because I'm still glad to play, and the only thing I don't like is at the moment to sit in the car and to drive in Holland, because it's so unbelievable busy on the highway. But I'm still I'm still happy. Yeah.
Had you heard of Phantom before your auditions?
Yes, yes, it is. I saw the Phantom in America while I was playing Evita. Juan Perón, San Francisco, and I was in Los Angeles, and I saw the Phantom in Los Angeles, and the guy who played the role Phantom, I don't know his name, but he was a colored man, and it was so, I was so spectacular, great, and then in Los Angeles, I thought to myself, wow. But I didn't know that the Phantom should come to Holland. That was not at that moment in 1991 was this, that I was in Los Angeles. Was not. I didn't hear that Phantom should come to Holland. But then when I came back to Holland, and then I heard that the Phantom was coming, and that was, of course, my. I thought, wow, I will do an audition. And then they accepted me. But that was a long story. So it took me 6 years to that they were interested in me, because I was a solo singer, and then Ben Cramer was doing musicals. He was acting, etc. You understand what I mean?
Yes, I
So,
do.
so because I had between 1967 and 1985, I had 20 songs in the charts, in a hit parade, you know?
Yes.
So that was the reason everybody knows me from that part of the business. But then it turned on, and I was happy.
How did you see the role of the Phantom of Erik? How did you see him when you performed him?
Yeah, of course, in Phantom in England, Michael Crawford, right? You know that name,
Yes,
of course.
yes.
Uh, Michael Crawford, because when I had to do the audition in Holland, they asked me, can you do within the audition the song Music of the Night?
Yes.
And I never heard of that song, so I was buying an album with Michael Crawford and was listening to that guy. It was great, but it was so completely different way to sing. You know, it is nighttime, shine. But you know, it's so completely different than my hit songs in the charts. So I studied. I studied weeks. And then when I get a role in Dutch, of course, then you have to, how do you say that? You have to study to look what is his character, what kind of guy is the Phantom, and the Phantom is a man who he never get love. He never get love. His face was ugly. But the way he moves, the way he walks, the way he sings, the way his movements were with his hands and all those things was so interested to do. So that was not so difficult for me because Phantom was and is a guy who fell in love with Christine, and he never. That, of course, that is my opinion. He never kissed before, you know.
Yes.
He never get love. He maybe he saw some movies or something like that, but never he didn't have the experience of it. And then the way he walks on stage, the way he was, wow, he was there. If he come on stage, he was there. You understand what I mean?
Yes.
And that was great to do. And but it was the musical is completely on music, right?
Yes.
It's a few words that you talk to each other, but everything is on music. Every song, of course, is on music, but also when I talk to you at the moment, and it should be written for the musical, then I have to sing, I have to say to you, etc., 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 etc. Because everything was on music, and that helps me because the music was sometimes very dramatic, and then it comes. It goes. How do you say that? English is not so. The music helps me to give the meaning of the role of the guy, and that was for me not so difficult to do because the beautiful music of the night, for example, yeah, was for me, wow, great song. I still sing the song. And also the opening of the Phantom. And when I perform in Holland, for example, here, before yesterday, people they don't know that I come. I will be there, of course, but I have done soundman. I do it with tape, tape, and then there is an announcement. First you hear some music, and then a voiceover. En dan sta ik te talk. Later zit het allemaal Ben Cramer. And then I come on stage and I do my first song. And that's the Phantom song. Always the Phantom. Even if I have to sing for young people. People between 20 and 40 years old. Who, I mean, they never saw Phantom. Because Phantom in 1996 it stopped in Holland. Dus that is almost 28 years ago.
Yes.
So those people in front of me before yesterday, when I come on stage with that song, they were surprised. They were looking, what's happening here? But the song was so overwhelming. So, bam, here I am. You know what I mean? And then I will build up my songs for 45, 50 minutes with some hits I had before. And also sometimes when sometimes there are older people, of course. I perform for older people. I have a lot of songs. I do Frank Sinatra. I do songs from Sinatra. I do songs from Elvis Presley. I have a scala of songs. I can feel what the audience wants to hear, and then I can do it.
I think it's surprising that Phantom never came back to Holland, because when I
Yeah, for me it's also a surprise because we, for example, Evita came back here for the third time. We had also Miss Saigon.
yes,
It's two times. After Phantom in 1996, Miss Saigon was the following up in Holland, but also come back. And I was thinking about that. How is it possible that the Phantom never came back? Because I'm sure that if the Phantom will be again in Holland, it will be sold out every night.
absolutely.
But I think that I know why. Because I think that the production, the how do you say that? To put it on stage, it costs a lot of money.
Yes.
And the rights, Andrew Lloyd Webbers, I think it's a lot of money you have to pay to start the musical again. I think that's of course I hope the Phantom will come back, and if it comes back, and so 2 years ago there were the people whispering for it's coming back, but no, it didn't. And if it comes back, we have in Holland a very good performer who can play Phantom. But it is crazy what I'm telling you now. Of course, I can play the Phantom, but I'm too old. You know, that's the problem. And of course, the second Phantom, Love Never Dies.
Yes.
Right. I recorded 2 beautiful songs of Love Never Dies on my album.
Yes, I saw your video for Till I Hear You Sing.
Till I Hear You Sing, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You saw that video?
Yes, it's a wonderful video.
Yeah, that was yeah, that was the movie for the video. The end,
Yes.
that's on the graveyard.
Yes.
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 And it was. I was surprised because I didn't knew that they should. The end was. I was not there at the end of that song, but I did the last note, the song. Yeah?
Yes.
And then the movie goes on, and you see a beautiful wife is walking on the graveyard, and that was the end of the song, and it was great, of course, but I thought by myself, I want to be the first to record that song because it was just in the beginning of Love Never Dies in England, but it didn't work. The musical was dying. How do you say that? How long did? Maybe 2, 3 months, 4 months.
Yes, it was. It sadly didn't work. I tried it again in Australia, but never really worked.
Never. Unbelievable, eh? Unbelievable. Yeah. That's so. But of course, I recorded it because also a very beautiful, but a very heavy song. Eh? Where we're talking about in Love Never Dies. Very high notes, etc., etc. But yeah, I thought then I am the first who sing that song. You never know. I thought by myself because Phantom, the story of Love Never Dies. Of course, I heard the story about it. Him getting older, he got a child, etc., 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 etc. Dus it could be that they asked, but it didn't come because it died before.
It is such a shame, especially of the music, but the book wasn't good for the show. It's still a problem with most Phantom fans that there's such beautiful music, but the story doesn't work.
Yeah, I have no explanation for it. But I mean, I was surprised that it didn't come on with Love Never Dies. But I'm sure that if Phantom comes back, the original first Phantom, then it will be a great hit again. Yeah.
I think so too. Did you ever consider auditioning for the role again on the West End?
I was, yes. Yeah, the Phantom was over in Holland. It was the last show was the 15th of August in 1996, and the how you say that? The producer, not the producer, but come on, Ben, come on. The man who, I forgot the word.
You mean Hel Prince?
Sorry, Hel Prince. No, yeah, I met him. No, but I mean regisseur. You know what I mean? Director.
Yes.
The director in Holland, from England, he was also the director in England. I told him I like to make an audition over there. I said, of course, I know you, but you have to come over and show yourself. So I went to England, and it was in the Majestic Theatre, I thought it was. Majestic, yeah. I did audition, and they, of course, the guy knows me, of course. Hey, he knows me very well. I worked with him here a couple of years, and but he was convinced that I can do it. But of course, all the other people have to see it. And I should never forget. It was in the afternoon, and I was finished with the audition. And then they asked me, "Can you stay tonight?" Because I should go back to Holland. So they canceled my flight, and I stayed there. And they said to me, because tomorrow we like to talk with you about blah, 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 blah. So if you want, you can see the show tonight. Phantom. Right?
Yes.
I said, why? Why not? Okay. So I went to a Majestic Theatre. Is that? Yeah, in England. Yeah.
English was Her Majesty's back then.
Who?
Her Majesty's.
Yeah, the theater. Doesn't matter. But it was a rainy day, and the evening was rainy, and I saw the show. Great, but then before the show started, they showed me, because I did audition in that place. They showed me also the stage and behind the stage, etc., etc. But you have to know that we here in Holland, Scheveningen, a very difficult name to pronounce, Scheveningen, was a beautiful place. But also behind the stage, everything was okay. So I saw that afternoon after the audition that they showed me how it was. I thought to myself, wow, is this all? Behind the stage, it was, ik weet niet, I don't know, but not not that what I was used to it in Holland. You understand?
Yes.
So okay, get it. And I saw the show, and then I thought to myself, after the show, I went out the building. I walked around the building, and there is a door where the people, where the actors are coming out to go home. What? You understand what I mean?
Yes, I know.
But it was a rainy evening. It was and I stood, and I was stood there behind some cars. Just the feeling, you know, I want to feel, because backstage there was nothing. There was no. Of course, you have the dressing room, but not a place to have a drink or something like that. We have in Holland. No. The door went open and everybody runs out. Okay. And I was glad that I was doing that, to stay there and to feel the feeling, you know. The day after, they wanted to talk with me. Well, okay, Ben, great audition. You can let me tell you, I can play the song. They want me there, right?
Yes.
But then they said to me, I said, okay, how many shows a week? Huh?
Yes.
And they say 7 or 8 together. Yes, it's okay, but my alternate, my understudy, how many play? No. You play everything. Ja, wel one. Ik bedoel, you need yet an understudy and alternate. Yes, but he only come on stage if you are not well or sick or what. You understand?
Yes.
So they asked me to play there 6 days a week.
Yes.
8 shows a week. Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, Sunday afternoon, Sunday night. Monday free, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I said, I have to think about this. And then I thought to myself, no, I can do it. This is for me. And that came because when I was going around the building and saw all the people go out and go home,
Yes.
I thought by myself, then I go home to my where I sleep, to my room, to I don't know where, but oh no. 6 days a week? And no. And then I said, sorry, but I will play the role, but let's say 4 or 5 times a week, no problem.
Yes.
But not 8. So it was a pity, but it's cancelled.
I can understand that because
Yeah, it was a lot. But in Holland, we played 7 shows a week. Yes.
yes.
But I did it together with my colleague Henk Poort. Together, we did it together. Understand?
Yes. Understand.
So that was good. That was nice to do, but not 8 a week. And then after the show, boop, to your room and go to sleep. And the next day, boop, no. And then far away. I mean, I'm come from Holland, no family over there, etc., etc., etc. Because I did, of course, I was in America to play Perón, but 3 months. You understand?
Yes.
And not 8 a week. That was 5, 6. You know, and that was okay for me. It was not a problem. But because I knew the role of Phantom was best a heavy role to play. It was not easy. And so this gives me then I said, no, thank you very much, but that's for me.
Did you ever thought of playing anywhere else, like Germany or other countries?
Yes, of course. I was in Germany too. I forget all the things. I was also in Germany. and also the same director was there also. What was his name? Yeah, of course. I was also in Germany. I went to Germany. I went to Berlin. Yeah, and but my German was not so well. You know, to talk.
Yes.
I had a big accent, and they said, "Well, Ben, of course you could play the role. We know that, but." So they took somebody else. And I was not disappointed though. I loved it to make. I like auditions. Many other artists are scared for their auditions, but me, I don't know. I liked it. Come, here I am. Take it or leave it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That was me. Yeah, Germany. Yeah, I forgot it. Yeah, but it was also in Germany. I was there, and with my car to Berlin. Yeah, I'll never forget. Yeah.
What are some of your greatest memories of performing the role?
You mean the highlights?
Yes.
Well, of course, the complete show was a highlight for me, but the most beautiful part, and also my wife said it also to me. It was the end, the last part of the show. That after one moment, I think that was the part that I kissed Christine for the first time.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that was the part that Raoul was hanging in with his neck in a rope. That scene was great. I mean, he was furious. The Phantom was furious. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then Christine kissed him, and he was never kissed before. So that part, while I'm talking to you, I feel the same feeling, and that was great because he released them, right?
Yes.
He released them, and the most beautiful part of it was that I was screaming to them, "Go, go, go away, go away!" And then the monkey, weet je wel, da 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 da, and it started to play. Can you remember that part?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, just go away, and then they were gone, and then the monkey started to play, and I turned to the monkey and was falling on my knees. And I said, Pamaske, wereld van papier-maché. Pamaske, masker op en geen mens kan je nog vinden. And then Christine came back on stage. And I was sitting there. And in my back, I had the feeling she's coming. So I turned around. I saw her. I stood up. I walked to her. And I thought in my mind, she's coming back for me, you know? So then, and then we stood, she was here, I was here. And I thought, wow, she's coming back for me. And then I sang, Christine, I love you, right? The part. And then she put the ring of her finger and she, bang, gave the ring to me, back to me, like how do you say that? Like a knife in her hand.
Yes.
Was doing this. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Can you remember that part? Yes.
Yes.
That part was the most beautiful part of the whole show for me, because there he realized that was going away, and then she went in the boat with Raoul, and they from the right to the left the song, and I stood there, no mask on, my wig was gone, only the ugly face, and then I had her how do you say that, the bruidsluier,
Veil.
the wardrobe, you understand the how do you call
The veil.
yeah, I had it in my hand, and then I was broken over there. I cried, and my wife sometimes said to me, "Were you really crying?" I said, "No," but she said it was so real. It was so real. She said, because I feel it. The feeling that was so important. And yeah, and then I stood there, en die long noot, dat zing dan. Ja, die mijn muziek en schoonheid. Voorbij de melodieën van de nacht. And then he walked to the chair to disappear. Yes, you know that? And that was for me, yeah, the most beautiful part of the show. Yeah.
It is. It's such a deep and strong emotional part.
Yeah, yeah. Because he was, he thought that he could win her for him, but at that moment he felt that still they don't like him. You know, the
Yes.
people don't like him, and he thought with his the way of singing and the nice performance parts, that what also the beautiful part was, that was the part that how was it, that Christine was singing with an apple in her hand, a song, and I came through the curtain. Do you know which part? That
Yes.
the song Point of No Return.
Yes.
The Point of No Return.
Yes.
It's also beautiful because etc. Because Christine didn't. It was Phantom with the K1, but she didn't know that, and that was a great part too. That was yeah. I mean, it comes back now again. Don't forget, it is 27 years ago that I played it over the last time. But yeah, it's a very nice experience. I think that was, for me, was that the best thing I ever did.
There's such a special role, even in the musical theater itself. The role is always different and so important to most of the actors.
Yeah, but that was the combination between the music and the story, and
Yes.
that ugly guy who wins, who tried to how do you say it in English, to Christine saw the guy with the mask on his face, right? But the way Phantom sings, with very high, small notes, etc. That was his power to get her to him. You understand? That was sein strength, and she fell in love with him. But then the moment when the mask was, she pulled the mask away. Yes, and she saw how he looks, etc. And he get angry then. Again, we're angry. That was the game. That was the game. That tang 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 tang. It went this whole show. And I will never forget that. It was and I'm sure it must be crazy what I'm telling you now. If they call me today and they give me 2 or 3 rehearsals, I play the song again. I play the musical again. I know everything, every word, still. And that is what the musical is doing with your feelings about it.
It stays. It's so special. And I think, to me, you could still be the Phantom because I see him as older.
Yes, yeah, of course, but but then of course. I mean, that was a little hope I had with Love Never Dies.
Yes.
That could be possible. Then I was not too old to play that role. But it's also how long ago Love Never Dies? 10 years.
Yeah, 2010 it was, I think.
Yeah,
Yes.
14 years ago. I was then 63. It could be.
Yes.
Right. But that's the story. I mean, but that's still for me nice to talk about it again. And even you have to remind me that I was going to Germany and England. I forgot it all. I forgot it, but I did it. And it was a nice story. It was a nice journey. And I learned a lot. I learned a lot of that music, the way to sing, to use your falsetto. You know, I never used the falsetto voice in my hit songs before, but I learned it from Michael Crawford. I was listening to him, listening. Where did he breathe? Where did he? How can you hold your? I've never got singing lessons. I never. I'm an autodidact. I did it by myself. But if you listen good to somebody else, and the lines you have to sing. Look, if I talk to you, for example, let me tell, I have to give you a line. And for example,
Yes.
how are you? How are you? Well, today it's very nice weather, but tomorrow it will be very, very, very bad. Listen, I sing it to you in one breath. Yeah?
Yes.
Not from how are you? The weather to here is great. And you understand what I'm trying to say? And that was the whole musical. The lines were without breathe between some notes. You have to take that bridge. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
That was the magic of that musical. Yeah. Because I played also in Beauty and the Beast.
Yes.
But that was not so difficult to do. But this Phantom is once a lifetime for me.
Is there any role that came to the Netherlands later that you wish you could have played? Or
Yeah, there was a role in Les Miserables, the song of Javert.
oh yes,
That was my role I love to play. I make an album. I don't know if you know the album, with musical highlights.
I know it.
On that album is also the song from Javert. Javert's suicide, right?
Yes.
Who is the man was of the devil is he to heavy quarter, etc. And the other song, you know that album.
Yes.
And that was the role of Javert was my role. I was sure that I could play the role, but I didn't get it. And don't ask me why. I don't know. I did audition for it. It was a great audition. They told me, and still they choose for somebody else. Okay, but it's the only role that I love to play, and still, but I'm also too old for that role now.
Is there anything that you would like to include in this interview that you haven't been asked yet?
Oh no. Oh, I mean, look, when I look at you and behind you, I see Phantom over there, I see another Phantom over there, I see Christine over there, the masks, I see the mask on the right side, and I see also on the left side, beside you, I see Lemis, I see a picture of Lemis. So you're a great fan of the Phantom.
Yes.
And I tried to tell you the story about what happened with me, because for me and for still, people come to me when I do my performance in the country, and they say to me, we saw you in Phantom. We saw you in Phantom. You were the best Phantom in Holland. You understand what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, it came. It was for me, and I did it, and it's still in myself. So but of course you can hear that I speak English, but some words I can't find because I never used English here in Holland. Yeah, songs. I sing English songs, of course, but the conversation in English is a little bit different. But doesn't matter. I hope that you can understand what I try to say.
Absolutely, you do it very well.
All right, and but no, I don't know what I should, what I can tell you more than I did. It was a story about my life, and yeah, I have a scrapbook full of big things on it, and letters from people that in that time. Oh, hundreds of letters, because they were so surprised that they saw me as Phantom. They couldn't believe it. It was me who played the Phantom, because I was in Holland. I had a big hit in Holland. I had more, but the biggest hit I ever had was in 1971, called The Clown. It's a song called The Clown. Everybody knows that song. Even, for example, before yesterday when I did my show in Holland, people for 20, 25 years. I mean, the song was from 1971, right?
Yes.
That is this. That 53 years ago. 53 years ago. And everybody knows it song. And that is also now what's happening with Phantom. Everybody knows that I played Phantom. And was still surprised by many, many people. And now I'm glad. And now you are asking me to talk about it. And we did a long time, an hour. So I think this is, I can't tell you more than that.
Okay, it was wonderful to hear your story and how much the role is still part of you. It was really great to hear that.
You're welcome.
Have a wonderful
Okay.
day. And thank you so much.
Behind the Mirror of Music with Dannii Cohen.